You know, it's almost inevitable that at some point in your career, you're going to come into contact with someone, well, you just can't get along with.
The situation can become a little sticky, though, if that person happens to be your boss. Chuck Bolton is the president of the Bolton Group and author of the new book, Leadership Wipeout, the story of an executive's crash and rescue. He's here today to actually tell you how to rescue your relationship with your boss. Chuck Bolton has some tips on how to get that relationship back on track. And Chuck, thanks for coming in this morning. We surely appreciate it.
Kim, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
It is a tough situation. I think people feel powerless and perhaps unable to act if they simply don't get along with their boss. They either just accept it or leave in most cases, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, that can happen in a worst case situation. It can lead to a real lack of trust or even worse. But you think about it, as we get in the holiday season, it's no secret that people are under a tremendous amount of stress. And where do we spend 2/3 of our waking hours? It's at work. And the biggest catalyst that can cause us stress at work is our relationship with our boss. And sometimes we think there isn't much we can do with it, but there really is quite a bit we can do about it.
So you have no exit strategy. You need the job. You're in that place. How do you start to build this relationship with this person up to this point you have not been able to get along with?
Right. I think the first thing, if you see the relationship not being as strong as you'd like it, is to first of all put yourself in the boss's shoes. Think of how it would work at being at 50,000 feet. I think sometimes we get so involved in our own doings and departments we don't think about what keeps our boss awake at night. So put yourself in your boss's shoes and operate at 50,000 feet.
Another tip you have is ask your boss to describe success. So you're looking for him to or her to describe your success or success in general, or what?
Well, you're really asking your boss to describe success from your role. So I think it's really two things. One, it's first of all, what are the objectives? What are the results I must achieve in order to be successful? The second piece, though, that's just as important as the first piece is what are the behaviors that would indicate success? In many organizations, how we get things done is just as important or even more important than what we do. So define success from both an outcome and behavioral standpoint.
And you have to be ready to take some of the responsibility for the fact that this is an impaired relationship.
You do indeed, and so I say you take responsibility for communication and really communicate with your boss at least once a month on 4 different levels. How are you doing meeting your customers' needs? How are you doing meeting your boss's needs? How are you doing meeting your coworkers' needs? And lastly, how are you doing meeting your direct reports' needs? And not just what's going well, but also what's not going so well too. Be candid about those things.
Determine how to get a fresh start. And might that include a conversation with your boss acknowledging that it's been rocky up until that point?
Kim, absolutely. It's acknowledging that there's one thing that's getting in the way of us being able to work as well as I would like, and what we want to do is to commit to the success of the boss, commit to that we want to be successful as well, and then candidly identify the one area that's getting in our way and having a discussion around that one specific area, not a laundry list of 10 things that are getting in our way, but the one thing that's most important, being able to talk about that candidly. That's a great way to get back on track with your boss.
Chuck Bolton is the president of the Bolton Group. The book is called Leadership Wipeout, the story of executives' crash and rescue. Chuck Bolton, we very much appreciate you coming in and sharing your time with us this morning.
Thank you, Tim and Kim.